I think there's still a stigma around discussing mental health in general, and I think the industry has this rough and tough image, and discussing mental health doesn't sit well with that. I think that rough and tough image is probably incorrect. People wouldn't look upon lorry drivers as being vulnerable individuals, but I think a lot of them are very vulnerable. A lot of them, I think, as I've already intimated, come into the industry not as a choice, but as something they've ended up doing. And I think a lot of them bring with them a lot of mental health issues of one kind or another. Maybe dyslexia that they're not aware of, neurodiversity issues that they're not aware of. But within the trucking industry, I think it's also, it has additional issues. And I think also one of the things that because we're talking about Mental Health Week, and we're looking at people often will say, well, if you don't feel very well, go and talk to somebody. Well, I don't think it is about talking to somebody. I think it's about talking to somebody you trust. And I think there's a massive difference. Whew, that's another big question. And I think the answer is yes, there is things that can be done, but it's going to be a very long process, because I feel that the culture within the industry is absolutely diabolical. I think the industry needs to take a long, hard look at itself. There's a lot of people need to hang their heads in shame within the industry. And if I can share with you a very personal experience. So my agency work started with me saying, oh, I've got a Class 1 licence, aren't I clever? And they went, you've got no chance of us putting you in a Class 1 lorry, right? You need to go and start in a Class 2 lorry, which absolutely is the correct thing to do. The following week, I went back into the same company because they said, can you do a Class 1 job, one drop Birmingham? And when I turned up, it had changed to a 3-day trip, Class 2, with about 15 drops on it around the Birmingham area, which I should have said no, right? No sat nav in those days. Now, I think I did probably 2 drops, and I'm going to be absolutely brutally honest here. I had a complete and utter meltdown, what I now understand as an autistic meltdown. And I stopped the truck in the lay-by, and I got out the truck, and I'm going to do this physically. And I sat down on the edge of sat down out of sight in the lay-by, and I pulled my knees up like this and put my head down on my knees, and I cried. And I didn't just cry, I wept for about 15 or 20 minutes. I have had so many near misses with trucks, and a lot of the time it's because I have not been given the correct information or the correct training. So I'm passionate about what I'm doing, because I want to save lives, and I particularly want to save young drivers' lives.